Hello folks, Zach Martinez here with another video. This time we'll be reviewing the 1994 classic hit Street Fighter. I mean, if you like campy films, it's a classic. Now, some of you might be wondering why I have this helmet on that has a big old UN on it. Well, it's simple. The filmmakers asked the United Nations, hey, can we use your symbols and monikers for our film? The United Nations said no. And having watched the movie and having looked at some of the UN resolutions that are going on at that time, I can see why the United Nations didn't want to lend its seal to that particular film. It was too on the nose with the politics of the day. Here you have a peacekeeping force being sent out to a war-torn area, having to engage a dictator in open combat and protect the civilian population at the same time. That pretty much in broad strokes was what was going on in Bosnia, Herzegovina, and Croatia during that time when Serbia had to remove kebab. I realize why the United Nations said no, it's too close to home, it's too soon, if you will. I mean, the only real difference is the location. The movie takes place in the fictional country of Shadalau. Instead of M. Bison's organization being Shadalau, or Shadalau, however you want to pronounce it, or spell it. There's two different spellings. In the Street Fighter animated series, it was his own secret criminal organization. M. Bison's criminal organization. Not a whole country. However, that movie also had this weird fetish with using. Japan has this weird thing about the UN and Interpol. I'm serious. If you look at like various animes, you look at various movies, Japan loves using the United Nations as a hallmark. Not hallmark, as a touchstone, right? But with Gundam 00, the United Nations unites all the world's powers to fight the celestial being. Like that's gonna do a whole lot of good. Freaking got Gundams.
A Gundam!
That guy's got the right idea. Just surrender and quit. Now that I have this helmet, I feel comfortable enough to sit in front of this camera and talk about Neon Genesis Evangelion, Super Dimension Fortress Macross. You just call it the United Nations Space Command. Wait, what? What? You mean tell me there was a UNSC before Halo? Man, Japan predicted that back in the 60s. Go figure that one. Oh, United Nations Anti-Godzilla Force? Don't ask about that one. So yeah, there's that. I do also want to cover the whole matter of camouflage. I tried. As me as a cosplayer, I sat there, I was like, oh, I can go online, find that old camouflage that they're wearing, which I'll show here. Put it on, have fun with this helmet. You know, do something that the filmmakers weren't allowed to do, especially in that time frame. You know, show them up a little bit. But yeah, that particular camouflage pattern. Sorry, the colors of that camouflage pattern does not exist commercially. It doesn't exist commercially. I was kind of weirded out by it. And I did some background research. Apparently, that blue, green, the various shades of blue and green and the red, that particular pattern does not exist. It was specifically made by the production company for that movie. Mind you, I don't know what the hell it's trying to camouflage with, but you know, it's a disruptive pattern better than this light blue thing on my head right now, so. I think, and this is one of the reasons why I use it as a touchstone, as a measurement for how I view video game movies in general, because they put time and effort into making their own camouflage. They didn't have to do that. They could have just done what most people do, or whatever camouflage that they have on hand. That's very easy to purchase commercially, or if you serve, just keep a bunch on hand and wear it when you need to. Little memento. All right, that's a lot better. I got a little too real world there. But anyways, some of you might be wondering, can you just get on with it? How do you feel about the movie in general? It's a guilty pleasure. It's not a bad film. It's not a great film either. I also thought it was kind of weird that it itself has a video game series. I'm sorry, just a video game. It doesn't have a series. My bad. It's weird to think that Jean-Claude Van Damme was supposed to be Johnny Cage, and they were going to digitize him and put him in a fighting game. But he said no to that. But when Street Fighter, the movie, the video game came out, he said, yeah, that digitized process that they were supposed to do back in Mortal Kombat, yeah, you can do it now. Because I'm the lead. I'm Colonel Guile. Like, my mind's blown how meta that is right now. Like, what could have been?
The road not taken.
Bison knows what I'm talking about. He knows what I'm talking about. And yes, I would be remiss not to bring up M. Bison. He's one of the reasons why this movie is so watchable. Why I don't have to, finish off this for a local talking about this movie. I didn't have cancer at that time. He kind of sat down and was like, "Here, grandchildren, come around. I'm gonna be dying soon. I'm a damn good actor. I want y'all to choose the movie that I'm gonna do next." And one of them happened to be Street Fighter, and they're like, "Grandpa Julia, we want you to be in this movie." He's like, "All right, cool. I'm gonna knock this out the park. This is gonna be a very beautiful thing to watch." And he knocked out the park. And if you don't know who Raul Julia is, he's also the guy who played Gomez Addams from the Addams Family movies. Just to give you context. I'm sure he has other things in his repertoire, but that's what I know him as. And man, that man knew how to knock it out of the park. So, all in all, in general, let's go with the pros and cons. Cons, this is a Street Fighter movie. It has no street fighting. The acting is a little bit on the subpar side. The setting is a little weird. As for pros, Raul Julia's performance is freaking beautiful. If you don't watch this movie, that's the only real reason you need. And it doesn't matter if you're a fan of Street Fighter or not. Raul Julia's performance is beautiful. There's no words to describe. It's just that good. You can watch it just for that. Yeah, it's over the top and cheesy, but sometimes you need that in your life. What else? The time and effort they put into the sets and the uniforms, it shows that Hollywood really wanted to make these movies. It shows that they were going in the right direction. They might not know how to execute it, but they wanted these movies to be good. Otherwise, why would you spend the time, the effort, and the money into producing your own camouflage pattern? That's ridiculous. And also, in Bison's crew, I don't think you can find that uniform either. Of course, now that I look at it, like the way the uniforms are set up, it reminds me like a Command and Conquer Red Alert, how the Allies are blue and the Soviets are red. Yeah, it doesn't matter. That's just me. That's how I connect it. So yeah. Do I say watch it? Yes. But watch it under the right circumstances. Don't watch it if you want like a mind-blowing cinematic experience. If you just want a popcorn flick, this is it for you. And yes, it has been rated as worst 50 movies, 50 films by, I forget what the company it was. I ain't bothered looking to made that list. But it is on some lists to be some of the worst movies ever made. For one of the worst movies ever made, it's pretty damn entertaining. It's on the level of next video, if I was to go chronologically, would be Mortal Kombat Annihilation. It's going to take a bit of prep time for that one. Oh man, there's a saying, most movie sequels never compared to the original. It's the exception that a sequel is better. This movie is not that exception. This movie is, you know what, I'll save that for later. Next video review, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, is gonna hurt. I'll catch you guys later.